That's it. Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Nico Snyman. I'm the founder and CEO of Crest Advisory Africa, and I will be taking you through this webinar. This is webinar number 17. So we've been doing webinars for the last 17 weeks. So I'm also going to turn off my video so that you can have better streaming as well. Right. Okay. So webinar number 17 is going to be addressing the selection of the project management team for the MS implementation. Now, MS stands for an abbreviation for the management system. So if you're looking at the webinar guidelines, please comply with this. If you I will go through it quickly. Please mute your microphone. Secondly, please keep your video off during the presentation. This will help everybody to have better streaming. And let me finish with my presentation. We have contracted with you for 60 minutes. I will not go over 60 minutes. That is guaranteed. And we will allocate about 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes for questions. And please, if you've got any questions, go to your Zoom chat box. And document. If there's any question that is coming up within the discussion, please go immediately to your chat box and document it there. Helene, that is also on this this webinar, she and Melissa, they will be monitoring all the questions, and then when we're finished, we will address all the questions. Attendance certificates. Please, everybody, you've got every time that we are engaging, we are actually providing you with an attendance certificate. Everything has been done. I think some of you has already received some of the certificates. You are collecting these to actually build your own CV and your own competencies. So please provide us in a chat box with your name, your surname, your mobile number, email address, and the company you are working for. And then lastly, this will be recorded and it will be placed on our Crest YouTube channel, and please go there and subscribe. So if you're looking at the table of contents, the table of contents is very short today actually. Last week's one, when we were talking about the project champions, the project managers, the project team, etc., that was a fairly long one, and I had to make sure that my time management was perfect there. Okay, so we're going to address quickly who's Crest Advisory Africa, project management team dynamics, and then the 7 personalities and competencies in project teams. This is a very important thing, because if you're looking at teams, some teams you can have a team that is working fantastically, and other teams you can have individuals who are world champions, but the team is not working at all. So each one of these is very important to make sure that you are delivering on your management system implementation. And then if there's time, I will go through our isolytic system. We've got a slide in there, not a practical explanation at the moment. We will go into the system and then I will explain to you, and then endorsements and freebies, and then if there's any questions, we will address the questions. So who is Crest Advisory Africa? Crest Advisory Africa has been established by myself. I'm the founder and CEO of CAA, and this was done on the 13th of June 2014, so we are 6 years old. We are specializing in corporate governance, which include enterprise risk management, business continuity management, compliance management, health and safety, and others. And we've got about 17 international standards that we are certified in, and that we are providing training, management consulting, auditing, etc. This is a very, very important part of the overview. The PCB is a certification body based in Canada, and they are accredited by the International Accreditation Service based in California. So we are a platinum partner on this. So this means that we are, out of the 1,981 accredited partners globally, we are one of 18 platinum partners, and platinum partners was still before the lockdown, that was the highest level that you could achieve within the PCB. They've introduced now the titanium partnership, and we are actually on our way there as well. So what is our offerings? We are working with 10 offerings. So the 10 offerings that we are working with specifically is training. So training is very important for us because this is actually building the competence of every person that is working with the management system. So we are conducting training, we are implementing advisory services, we are conducting audits, whether it is internal audit, external audit, third-party audit, a customer audit, we are conducting that. We've got products that is actually supporting our implementation of the management systems as well as the auditing of it. So please, if you have got any questions about our products, we will gladly answer you there. And then our technology, you can see here on the right-hand side, Isolytics. This is our technology that we are working, that we have designed actually to assist everybody with the implementation of ISO standards, as well as for the remote auditing of standards at any time, whether you are conducting a management review, whether you are conducting a third-party audit or an internal audit, we can do that for you on a remote basis, and we can do it via our Isolytics system. Then we've got resource and talent management. Now, this is a very important part of ISO in itself. If you're looking at clause 7 of the ISO systems, you will see that clause 7 is actually speaking specifically about training, competencies, and awareness. Now, if you're looking at that combination, that is very critical, that you've got the right resources, you've got the right talent in there as well as that you've got the competencies in the right positions. Project management is one of our fortes. This is also aligned with ISO 21500. So 21500 is a very important project management guideline. It is aligned with PMBOK. Now, if you don't know what is PMBOK, PMBOK is the project management body of knowledge. So all the best practices that is actually in there, we are doing that in ISO 21500. And then we're looking at cyber forensics. This is part and parcel of advisory services and audits. We are doing cyber audits, we are doing digital audits, we're doing mobile audits, information security, pen testing, etc. And then we've got back office, and then our back office support that is giving every organization, whether you are big or small, we can assist you with your back office, that you can focus on the things that you are good in, and that everything else that you can outsource. And then lastly, international certification. This is the highest accolade that you can obtain, whether you are a business, whether you are a person. You can be an international certified lead implementer or an international certified lead auditor. Your management systems, a training organization like us, we are internationally certified. Our trainers that we are using is internationally certified, as well as our auditors. So if we're going to our next slide, we've been fortunate during lockdown to actually conclude our merger with an international company. So at the moment, we've got a reach over all those territories: Europe, the Americas, Asia Pacific, the Middle East, and Africa. And this is where we are actually functioning in all the regional offices that is part of our footprint. And we are talking here about 34 countries. We, as Crest, has got offices in Botswana as well as in Namibia, and this and before the end of the year, hopefully, depending on COVID, we will be registering an office in Australia as well as one in the USA. So let's go over to the selection of a project management team for the project implementation. Team selection for any kind of project, whether it is just for employment or for a project, is very critical, because if you're looking at, every one of us has got different personalities. We grew up in different environments. We have got different habits. And those habits is actually coming into your environment, whether you were can I say it, whether you were bullied at school, you will either be a bully in the future, or you will be a victim, and you will always play that part, because that has been ingrained in you for the last for 14, 15, 16 years. And that is why it is so important that you are looking at the composition of your project team. Because if you're looking at working as a team, people can be exhilarating and challenging. And aside from the chemistry of personalities and work styles that affect a group dynamic, there's also a territorial play. So each of us want to be the 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 king of the mountain. So just like animals, we have got the human behavior, and we are territorial beings. We want to claim a space. We want to make sure that this space or this office or this chair is always mine. So I don't want to say that we are marking our territories like animals, but we are actually, because we are actually personalizing it with our own pictures, etc. So that is where we are actually working in territories. And if you've got opposing humans with territorial conflict, you are going to have no team. So in the business world, this means that when the roles and responsibilities aren't well designed, individuals get testy, the team dynamics go haywire, and the project suffers as a result. Now, very critical, very important about this, you need to have the right mix. Now, if we're talking about the right mix, if I can just have anybody give me one or two personality types that you can think of. Open your mic and please give me feedback there. I want to make this more interactive if it's possible. Anybody? Helene? Johan?
So Nico, I will say personality types. We can maybe look at competitive personalities, or we can look at people that are team builders or team workers, something like that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Johan?
Yeah, Nico, I would like to add on. I believe that the major role of should be somebody with political, diplomatic personality, and somebody who can lead a team correctly.
Okay.
Having personality that's maybe open and listening, instead of being directive and going back to the bullying style.
Ah, fantastic. Thank you, Johan. Thank you, Elian. So if we're looking at the theories that is actually out there, we have got a system that we are working specifically that is actually looking at habits and attributes. We're calling it the shadow match system. So we can do analysis of people's behavior. We can do analysis of 19 attributes that people has to have to be actually working in a company, and you can define that further to actually go into a project team, that you've got every personality that is actually aligned there. We are measuring the complexity of executing tasks. We are looking at the time factors that people has got, and we are looking also at specifically the attitude. Attitude is critical in every environment. Now, I am going to address here a guide to 7 personality types that complete as a successful team. Now, if you look at this, you have to have a leader. Firstly, I will go into each one of those. Secondly, there has to be a team player. Thirdly, there has to be somebody that is doing your research for you. There has to be a subject matter expert. There has to be a planner. There has to be somebody that is thinking out of the box, that is creative, that can think with, because all of these are actually people that is actually on the left brain people. So if you're looking at your right brainers, you need to have communicators, like Johanna said, diplomatic people. You have to have creative people that can actually design this kind of um, of picture now for you. So firstly, if you're looking at the leader, firstly, the leader in this environment, before you begin any project, you have to have an established leader. That is the most important thing. And as Johannes has said, this person is responsible for mediating conflicts, for facilitating communications between team members, and keeping everybody on course. Very important, because that is his main responsibility. And the leader will schedule and guide the course of meetings, but that doesn't mean that being the only speaker and leading all the meetings. No, this guy needs to make sure that he's sharing it with his team. And a good leader knows how to delegate. Very important. Delegation, we are not hoarders. We are not hoarding roles and responsibilities. A leader is actually giving away. A leader is actually developing other people that they can grow, firstly, and secondly, that they can be in a position to take over as a leader. Because as a leader, you actually have to work yourself out of a job. You have to work yourself out of a position. Always, because if you are stuck as a leader in a position for 20 years, you are not a leader, you are just a sitter. And that is critical for everybody to understand. You need to go the extra mile and to a different position. If you are staying in the same position for 20 years, you are not a leader. A leader has to change actually, and this is why projects are so important, because projects has got a lifespan. And that lifespan of that project is possibly 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Some of them are 18 months. And within that, you need to make sure that you are developing the people that's actually now reporting to you, and that is part and parcel of your team. So, and you need to let go of the reins, that people can actually think, and they can think for themselves, and they can actually execute things. Because a leader, if you are micromanaging, you are not a leader. So you can recognize that there are leadership qualities, and we will give you a guide on that in the last slide. In people who have strong communication skills, a clear and expansive vision, and the project's end result, and the ability to motivate others. So this is about leadership. And leadership is then going over to a team player. So the team player needs to be identified by their enthusiasm to work together for a common good. They are usually eager to help, willing to compromise, and diplomatic. And they might not be the biggest initiators in the world, but you can rely on a team player to follow through on tasks and to willingly settle conflicts with a calming demeanor. So they sort out everything, and they are actually the glue of the whole group. This type doesn't exclude other roles from being strong team leaders, but the team player archetype values group camaraderie and success over the individual prize. This team player is actually working for the team. The team success is actually their success as well. It is not about I, it is about we. And it is not the French oui, of yes. It is I is not about me. It is about the team. Then we are looking at a researcher. The researcher is very important, because these guys, they show up in sales, they are in IT, they are in support, they are in marketing, they are in content, they are everywhere in the company, whether in finance, operations, it doesn't matter. They are always asking the questions and then finding their own answers. They are actually the guys that is the devil advocate, that is asking a question that not everybody is going to be asking. So they are the analytical people. They are asking those kind of questions. And if you need more information to complete your project, it's important to have a strong researcher who can get it done for you. And their special talents are that researchers ask the overlooked questions that can avert a future impairment. Now, aversion is to prevent. And this natural private eye knows the quickest way to the best resources, and is the person everyone goes to with the most puzzling questions. Now, you know, in your organization, if you want something done or you want something to be researched, you don't go to to A, B, and C. You go to a specific person because that person has got the analytical ability to actually dive deep into a project, and that deep dive analysis is giving you the answers that is not always clear on the surface. And then we are going over to the expert. Now, the project team expert is very critical, because if you're looking at a subject matter expert, subject matter experts, whether you are doing training, whether you are doing management consulting, whether you are doing auditing, all of those disciplines must have a subject matter expert in terms of the discipline or the project that you are actually working on. Your project leader doesn't have to be the subject matter expert. If he is a good project leader, then you have got a subject matter expert that is filling the hole of the project discipline. So most projects, especially in technology, need a subject matter expert. Just want to explain. We were last week, myself and Elian conducted an audit on Friday in the medical devices environment. Now, this is a very complex environment, and we are speaking here about heart stents and everything that is very, very complex, that you are actually planting into your body, whether it is a hip replacement, whether it is a knee replacement, whether it is anything to do with that. So the medical devices environment is a very complex and a very specific environment, and you cannot have anybody that is doing everything to be a subject matter expert there. No, you can't, because that is a specialized environment, and some of the things that you need to have there needs to be kept in a regulated temperature control area. And if you don't know that, you as an auditor or you as a management system implementer, you are going to overlook that. So this person processes intimate knowledge in a field that your project encompasses. So if you're looking at construction, somebody needs to be a subject matter on construction. So if you're on the marketing team with a group that is working on new mobile software, you need you need a developer to go to who will explain the necessary technical details and offerings, and make sure that you are accurately representing the product in your messaging. Very important, because in some environments you've got so much technical skills. You need so much and so deep technical skills that nobody else can actually help you. And this is where the scarce skills are coming into play, that you can ad hocly also get a person in for that specific environment for a period of time to assist you there. So depending on the end goal, you might want to sign up for some designated experts to contribute to the project. Now, this is very important, whether you are consulting, whether you are training, whether you are auditing. Everything in this whole pipeline needs to be managed by an expert, and that expert need to actually brief everybody to implement, and then the subject matter expert need to go and check on compliance and on auditing, because this is where the subject matter expert is making sure that everything that they are doing is compliant with everything that needs to be done within the project scope. So if you're going over to the planner is a person that is working with your project plan. This person is working with your schedules. This person is working with your work breakdown structure. This person is working with your deadlines, with your milestones, your deliverables. So this person is critical. Whether you are working with a small project or you're working with a big one, it doesn't matter. It is all about, you need to have a person that can actually execute, and planners are naturally self-motivated. So these guys are actually looking at, how do I build a calendar? How do I actually make sure that our milestones within that calendar are actually driven, and that we are executing it? So they're also driven to organize processes and give order to the world around them. Very important, because sometimes we are working in chaos. We don't see it because it is the norm in front of us. But if you have got somebody that is actually really planning, you will see that those people are structured, they are organized, they are organizing themselves, that they are trying to organize everybody else as well, and those guys has got a specific place on a project. So good news for others that is working in the orbit. Very important, because they will organize you. So you don't have to worry about planners being people pleasers. They are more dedicated to making decisions for the good of the project over winning a popularity contest. They are not there to make friends. They are there to actually execute a project on the date, on the time, on the place, with a milestone, with the deliverables that they need to have. So if you have a natural planner on your team, trust that their skills will deliver your project in the estimated period of time. Because just remember, in projects, projects are implemented to make sure that you've got a start date and an end date, and then the project is over. If you are exceeding the end date, you are starting to be paying penalties. With our background on the Gautrain project, with the building of it, we were in for penalties every month, whether it was for as-built plans, whether it was for a deliverable of a bridge. If the bridge quality, time, and cost was not done correctly, the independent certifier is auditing that environment, and they are saying yes or no, and they are then processing the payment and the milestone. And only when they are finished with that, then you are getting payment. So if your project is not well organized, you are going to suffer in your cash flow, definitely. So natural planners love lists, they love charts, they love calendars, and they are punctual. They are able to see the curve in the road and the incoming curveballs, and even if and often they have strategies for improving the process or increasing team efficiency. Very important, these guys are looking critically at how does the team work, how is the team actually executing what they need to execute, and how can we be more adequate and effective and more efficient. So this is what the planner is doing. And then we're looking at the creative one. There needs to be somebody that is creative and that is making sure that everybody on this project, sorry, where did I go to now? The creative one. So the creative types have a tendency to get caught up in their own world of imagination and problem solving and conceptualization. Very important that you are actually getting every part of this right. Now, these guys are very important to your whole project, because they are actually looking um, at making sure that everybody that is there are are actually doing what they need to do, but that the creative side of everybody is actually coming out. So they might not always be the clearest communicators, diplomats, or deadline makers, but pair them up with a savvy planner, and you could almost spin gold. Now, spinning gold is they will create for you, with a planner, with structure, they will create for you the most beautiful projects that you've got, and making sure that your deadlines and your milestones are done and are achieved. So these creative types don't just live in the likes of arts and copyright departments. They can be found everywhere, whether in accounting, sales, you name it. It can be anywhere. And every team benefits from a creative thinker, because creative thinkers are usually right brainers. They are thinking out of the box. And you need one of these in your group, and someone who can deliver fresh ideas and solutions that let the team's work stand out from the crowd. You don't want to be average. You want to be seen. And for that to be seen, I don't think that your planners and everyone that we have actually mentioned now, we are so designed to actually go into our own own habits and our own comfort zones that everybody will go in there. And you need to have somebody to spot a creative look at the original thinker, the person willing to turn the status quo on its head and come up with a new approach to a long-standing goal. Very important. The creative ones are actually the guys that is with a planner, with a whole team that can actually break a deadlock, that can actually break a conflict, that can actually break the monotonous way of actually working. And you need to have them on your team. Then we are looking at the last one, the communicator. The communicator, communicators are often thought of as the salespeople, marketers, writers, and leaders. Those are communication jobs. That is not communicators. We are talking here about natural communicators, not just the talkative ones, but individuals who are naturally inclined to reach out to others and to share information with the entire team. Now, that is not communication jobs. These guys has got an aura around them that they want to communicate. They have got the charisma around them to make sure that everybody understands where they are. Sometimes a project leader needs to lead. He just needs to lead because he's got a communicator that can communicate everything further to the planners, to everybody else. A leader sometimes don't have the time to look strategically, tactically, and operationally. A leader sometimes is, especially in projects, you just want to have the high level feedback. And that is a one-pager, a two-pager. But actually what is happening on the ground are two different things. And this is why you need to have a whole team environment that is actually looking and working with you. So communicators are also good at persuading just about anyone to jump on board and give the team the help it needs. Your communicator might be the person with the longest list of contacts and knows someone for just about anything you need. And they are resourceful. You need to have those people in your team. And teams aren't perfect universes, and we don't always get to work in a group that has one of every one of these personality types. But recognizing people's strengths is a worthwhile first step in creating a well-rounded team. Very important that we're looking at. I want to come back to these 7 personalities, because within a team you need to have a combination of these, and you need to also acknowledge where you've got a gap. Because someone, if you don't have a communicator, then someone needs to play this part in this whole team. Now these personalities are actually making sure that the project deliverables, milestones, products, etc., are actually delivered, and making sure that the project team is working as a combined team. I just want to I have spoken about this example, I think 3 webinars back. Now, if you look at one of the environments we were called in to actually give a to improve was we were one of the big consulting houses were having a project team for one of the state-owned entities, and these guys had an 18-month project, and the team that they have compiled consisted at about 5 people, and none of them were actually leaders. All of them were team players. So they were there in the team, and they were just waiting for the team to actually work. So they were lacking a leader. They were lacking a researcher. They were also experts, yes, but they didn't have a planner. So 3 months down this line, we were called in because these guys were spending money, and they were actually wasting money on things that was not needed at all. So we were brought in, and when we analyzed this, we could very easily identify the gaps that they had. Team players, yes, they had experts, yes, but they did not have anybody else. So out of the 6 people, they were actually sitting with three or 4 team players and 2 experts. And that was the biggest shock that we had there, because within the broader team of the company, we were actually looking for a researcher. And when we were asking for it, it was very easy. People were identifying two or three people for us. So we brought them in. We were looking for planners, and out of this environment, they were also saying that guy or that lady, she is a good planner. She knows everything about this. Even a PA that was a good planner, we were using them. So the creative ones, that was not even part of the team at all. So they were just actually looking at the execution of the team or of the project, but they were not actually looking at what is the team's composition. So all of these, as Johannes has said in the beginning, that you need to have somebody that is playing, not playing, that can do the team politics. You need to have somebody that can actually stand up and fight for the team. You need to have somebody that is thinking out of the box. You need to have somebody that is actually controlling everybody, with dates and times and deliverables. You need to have a subject matter expert, and you need to have a researcher to make sure that everybody is actually knowing everything that they need to do. So this is actually your research, your R&D environment. So I want to close off. On our website, you will see there that during this past 3 or 4 weeks, we have developed an ultimate practical habits for today's project managers. So we've got the 5 ultimate practical habits for the project managers. Go and watch it there. You will learn a lot. It is on the media room, under the ultimate guides. It is uploaded, and my project manager that is within our company, Kurt, he will be discussing this as well over the next 2 days. So please go and download this ebook. It is on this link, but it is on our website. And everybody that has attended this webinar, we will send you 10 qualities of superior leaders. And this is very important, because if you are talking about a leader, and the leader is actually you, how do you compare with the best practice that is out there? How do you have a vision? How do you have a mission? How do you actually have the attitude of we can do it, I can do it, there's no problem too big or too small, we can solve it. So very important that leaders are actually the guys that is leading by walking around as well. They are the people that is actually looking in on their subordinates, on the project team. So it is a very interesting read, that one. So I want to go over to our Analytics GRC&A software. Now, if you're looking at the software, this software has been developed by over the last 3 years, since 2017. We have done this in partnership with one of the leading universities in South Africa. So we've been working with the commerce environment as well as the engineering environment to actually build a combined assurance software that is specifically focused on ISO. So you will see that ISO is ISO Analytics. So ISO Analytics is ISO Analytics, and we drive performance and certainty. Now, we have been talking about this because if you're looking at the definition of risk, it is actually the effect of uncertainty on objectives. Now, the opposite of that is actually driving performance and reaching your objectives. So we are driving performance and create certainty, not uncertainty. So we've got in our software, we've got a GRC module. Now, GRC is for governance, risk, and compliance. Then we've got combined assurance. We've got I2MS. Now, I2MS is the incident and investigation management system. It is included into the system. We've got the bowtie risk methodology. That is a fantastic methodology, and the visualization about it is just out of this world. everything is based on enterprise risk management. So this is already incorporated in this whole process here. Even on our I2Mass, we are working with enterprise risk management, even if we are analyzing an incident. Then we have pre-populated about 20 standards already. So if you are speaking about ISO 9001, quality management or business continuity, it is already pre-populated. You don't have to go and populate it, nothing. Everything has been pre-populated, it is done, it is there for you. And the measurables is every requirement within the standard. We have got it in there. So it is actually giving you the maturity and the progress and the health of your management system that you are implementing. We've also got a mobile system. Checklist is a critical factor within risk management. It is also, if you look at ISO 31010, checklist is one of the, I want to say, one of the most underestimated risk assessment methodologies that you can get. People are not thinking about a checklist as a risk assessment methodology. Please contact us. We've got a fantastic methodology that is even linked to the financial aspects of your environment. It is compliance based. We've got surveys, and everything has been done on machine learning as well as artificial intelligence. And this is the end of the presentation. I just want to go over to the membership and endorsements. So we're looking here at our membership and endorsements. The most critical one and the most important one is this one here, the PCB, and that we are platinum partners. Now that this gives us an international and a global flavor, and we are working internationally and globally. You can see all the others that we are involved with, like IMSA as well, the Institute of Risk Managers of South Africa. We are also endorsed there, as well as with the Services Sector. We are accredited training provider there. And please go to our website. You will see on the website that our media room and our media store and our online online store is excellent. You can, everything that I was talking about here, you can get it on the website, as well as please go and be part of our ISO Global Assistance Facebook page. We are here to assist you. We are here to help you to get certification and to make sure that you are actually adopting and adapting the global best practices. Our webinars is also on our YouTube channel, on the YouTube, and then our articles. Please go through it. It is a body of knowledge that is lying there. Our catalogs as well, white papers has now been replaced with our ultimate guides, so you will get it on there. And then for everybody that has attended this webinar, we've got your details. So please, we will send you your user registration for our analytics system. You've got access to the system for 6 weeks. Make use of it. Please make sure that you are getting used to the system, because it is a fantastic system. At the moment, we've got proof of concepts out with the Reserve Bank in Seychelles. We've got it out with First Rand, with the mining industries in Botswana, in South Africa as well. So it is a fantastic system. And then please go to our website as well under the webinars and reserve your seat for next week, Wednesday, 11 to 12 o'clock. The topic is on the website. So please, if you have got time for next week, 11 to 12, this is free training that you are getting, and this is actually unheard of. We are giving this for mahala, gratis, and you can enjoy this. And you can also go and for every webinar that you have missed, you can go to our YouTube channel and you can get it there. So thank you very much for your attendance and your attention. And I want to give over now to Elian to give us, if they to inform us if there's any questions that we can address it there.
Hi, Nico. No questions in the chat box. Just one thing, Banele, he joined us a little bit late as well, but I've got
Nkosi.
his details. Yes.
Okay.
But he also sent me a mail to say that he was actually struggling to get onto the website. So I just want to inform him also, Banele, we are looking at that. We know there was a glitch since yesterday. But if you are interested in next week's webinar, just send me a mail and I will make sure that you get the link for that. If you still struggle to get onto the website. And then, yeah, we will sort that one out.
All right. No questions further. So if there's no questions, I want to say to everybody, thank you very much. I said to you that I will be finished in about 50 minutes. And then 10 minutes for questions. It is now 11:46, so you've got 14 minutes available that is extra in your day, so use it productively. Thank you and have a fantastic day. See you next week.
Thank you.